Hello and welcome to Arts Alive. This week we met Rankin, the famous fashion photographer, who came to Liverpool to present his exhibition It's Glam Up North at the Museum of Liverpool. The art pieces on display will be auctioned next month for the local charity Clare House Children's Hospice. But before that, we'll have a look at Isla Nublar, an exhibition made in Liverpool, all about Jurassic Park, of course. I met Ria Fell, one of the artists behind the project, at Constellation last week. Ria, can you tell us what is the exhibition about?
Yeah, so after the fun we had during The Simpsons back in April, we decided to pick a new theme to do another exhibition, and we decided to do Jurassic Park. I'm pretty sure everyone loves dinosaurs to some extent, and the film was so kind of important in our childhood for me and Michael, who I do know Homer's Club with, that we thought it'd be a good thing to do in autumn, yeah.
So what are we going to be able to find in this exhibition?
We've got over 25 artists and 3 bands who are working and inspired by both the book and the film. And you'll have a range of stuff from portraits to quite contemporary sculpture. We've really decided to pick artists this time that reflected a whole range of skills and creative talent, and we think hopefully it'll still be fun and bring the whole kind of Jurassic Park to life.
Yeah, how did you work on it? I mean, how did you decide to do this Jurassic Park theme in the first place? I mean, obviously you like it, but...
Yeah. Me and Michael have been fans of the film and the book for a very long time. The same way The Simpsons had almost kind of a nostalgia to our childhood, and it's something that we've both grown up with. We kind of felt the same about Jurassic Park, and we just wanted something that was fun and something that not necessarily has the same weight as The Simpsons, but it's still iconic, and for a lot of people our generation. And also, you know, there's a lot of new fans from the new film as well. We wanted something that can kind of bring the whole family and different groups of people to a show.
Talking about actually the new film, what do you think about it?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I think it was quite, I know there's a lot of haters out there, but I actually feel like it knew what it was, and it was making direct references to the first film on a constant basis. So, and I think it wasn't necessarily trying to be as good as the first.
Right.
And I think that came across in the new dinosaur versus the old dinosaur, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I enjoyed it.
Can you give us maybe a few names of the artists you've been working with? I mean, are they local or have you been working with?
Yeah, we've got a combination of artists from Liverpool, Manchester, and around the northwest. Some are reoccurring. We've got Kate Craven, who was in the first show, as well as Martin Kirk, Harrison Edwards, an illustrator from Manchester. We've got bands, Organ Freeman, a band called Silent Sleep, who's a local musician. Yeah, we've got a good combination of Northwest artists, and I think that's really important for us.
So yeah, the exhibition is lasting for about 3 days, I think.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be just, you were saying that there's music. It's not just like the exhibition of the print or the art.
Yeah, we wanted to, the same way with the Simpsons show, we really wanted to create a whole event over the weekend. So the Friday night, we have the launch of the exhibition, as well as music by the 3 bands and some other dinosaur-related surprises as well. Then on the Saturday, for those who can't come on the Friday night, I think it's over 18 as well, we've got more of a family day. There'll be workshops. The girls at the print studio here at Constellations, Paper Moon, they'll be doing some screen printing shops, be stuff for the kids, and a screening of the film on the Saturday night. And then the Sunday, we'll have a craft fair with some of the artists from the show, and some really good projects.
And I mean, like you're talking a lot about The Simpsons, and so The Simpsons, Jurassic Park, this is very much pop culture, like you were saying, our generation. What's the next project after that?
We don't know. We get asked a lot. I think we're going to maybe take another break, and maybe in 6 months' time, think of something that's, for us, we really want the show and the people who come to it to have a good time. It's meant to be fun. and quite light, and an opportunity for artists to make stuff that perhaps they wouldn't make before, and for people to see things that they can have reference to and get, and so we'll have a good think, and fingers crossed we won't disappoint.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Laura, you are doing this exhibition as well. Can you tell us, you're an artist, can you tell us how you work for this exhibition? Because you're working at the moment.
Yeah. That's right, yeah. So I'm basically a freelance artist based here in Liverpool. Obviously, heard the open for Isla Nublar. And I think when I first heard about the exhibition, obviously I was thinking, okay, what work am I going to do? And it kind of felt like an obvious choice for me, because a lot of my work is based on like portraiture work. Mm-hmm. So obviously you think dinosaurs is the main kind of theme, and my first instinct thought Jeff Goldblum, because a lot of my work is based on like really interesting faces, and I absolutely love him anyway. Big fan of his work. I'm really into my 80s movies, and I just thought he's just got the best face to draw. So yeah, my first instinct was like, yeah, I've got to draw him for my piece of work for this show.
Mm-hmm. Are you doing just one piece, or are you doing several
just
pieces?
Just doing the one piece, yeah. Nice. So it's going to be mine's going to be a drawing, all hand drawn by myself. It's a detailed piece of work. Took a lot longer than I thought, but I'm really pleased with it. Excited to see everyone else's work, and but yeah, I'm really pleased with what I've done. It's saying that I really enjoy doing the piece of work, which I think is the most important thing.
Of course, yeah.
It's I say a lot of my work anyway is based on like movies. So to me, this was easy and just really fun to do.
Yeah, and is it the technique you use usually as well when you work on
other? It's a technique that I do use. I can use two different techniques. This one's a lot more detailed than I usually would. It does take a lot longer, but it's really, I do really enjoy it. It's one of those things where it doesn't feel like hard work. It just kind of comes really natural to me. It's quite therapeutic, the detail that I use. So, I find it really natural for me to kind of, get the work done, really.
And how did it work? You got in contact with Ria and Michael probably, but is it like something, they didn't commission you to do this portrait? Or?
So basically, there was a call out for the exhibition. Obviously, I just, because when I knew it was Jurassic Park, I initially knew what I wanted to do. So straight away, I knew what I was going to tell Ria and Michael, my idea. It wasn't I wasn't thinking, I might do this, I might do that. It was like, my idea was Jeff Goldblum. That's what I'm going to tell them what I'm going to do. And hopefully, I was like, please let me be in this exhibition, because it's just amazing. And they were all for it, and they seemed really excited by it. So, I was really, really pleased.
Brilliant. And so what are you going to work after that? What are you working on after that, the project?
Well, I do quite a few craft events in Liverpool. That's why I love living here, to be honest. Liverpool is such a great city. There's so much going on, especially here in Constellations. A lot of weekends there's always some kind of craft event, maybe an exhibition. So being in Liverpool, you've got such good opportunities. I feel like living here is just such a great thing for me. So after this, more workshops, exhibitions, hopefully more craft events, and I sell online as well. So I am pretty busy. Yeah. It's just trying to contact people and see what's going on. But Liverpool's, as I say, I think Liverpool's one of those places where everyone kind of knows each other in some weird way. So it's really easy to contact people because someone through someone. Mm-hmm. So there's always there's always opportunities for everyone. I think that's what's really important about this exhibition. There's so many artists here in Liverpool, and it's great to have this Isla Nublar, because everyone just kind of comes together and see each other and discuss your work and. And I think it's a great thing.
And you were saying that you're working more on portraits usually?
Yeah, it is basically portraits. I think that's come from years ago. I've always been into like photography. That's what I did when I was younger. Always loved taking photographs of people, and I think that was kind of like a natural progression my work took, where I love pictures of people and I love drawing, so it kind of felt natural for me to like, you know, do portrait work. A lot of my work can be based on more kind of like people with like really interesting faces, which I find really important. So, you know, if it's a portrait of someone that I really like, then the work's really easy and enjoyable. So
Like celebrities or people
yeah,
like...
a lot of my work is like based on like famous people. It could be from like music or film, that kind of area really. So, you know, it's just really enjoyable.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Isla Nublar will be showcased at Constellations for 3 days only from the 9th to the 11th of October. Join us after the break. We'll meet Rankin at the Museum of Liverpool for the exhibition It's Glam Up North. Welcome back to Art Alive. From Jurassic Park, we now go to the docks to find out more about the Museum of Liverpool new exhibition, It's Glam Up North, curated by Rankin.
I'm here at the presentation of It's Glam Up North, a show I've curated for a charity called Clare House, which is a hospice in Liverpool that look after children and young people that are under difficult circumstances. The idea of this show is that it's kind of like a flip on the idea of It's Grim Up North. It's putting a little bit of sparkle back into this charity auction. The theme was kind of ironic. I wanted people to kind of take the North and the warmth of the North and give it a little kind of twist, you know. And the main thing is that we're going to auction all this work at the end of November, and all the money that's raised goes to the charity.
But how did you select the work in particular? Because you've got to choose which one goes where as well.
Yeah, I selected the work from artists and graphic designers and photographers whose work I really loved, and I sent out letters to people saying I'm doing this thing for this little charity, but I really love it and I think the work they do there is incredible, and you know, luckily lots of people liked the theme and thought it was, you know, had a little kind of sense of humour and not your usual charity theme, which can be quite serious sometimes. And yeah, people started sort of getting involved, which has been brilliant.
How did you come across this charity in the first place?
I did an exhibition and TV documentary called Alive in the Face of Death, and the show of the work that I did was at the Walker Gallery in Liverpool. And when we came up to meet them, we said we'd love to kind of work with some charities up here in terms of getting some subjects for my photos, and they suggested Clare House. When I went to Clare House, the hospice, the work they were doing and the kind of the welcome I got was so amazing, and the atmosphere in the hospice itself was like incredibly positive, and it just made me think that, we're very lucky in our normal lives that we don't have to go through those sort of difficult situations. But if these people can smile and be positive, then it kind of teaches the rest of us a lesson. I was really surprised to find out that the hospice wasn't funded by any government organisation. And it really shocked me, actually, that I kind of, almost something that was necessary for people needed to fund itself. So, of course, at that point, when I found that out, I said, listen, guys, if you ever want me to do anything, I'm up for it. I'd love to support you in some way. And they then were like, ooh, what should we get him to do? And they thought maybe I could curate a show. And here we are at Glam Up North, something that I've curated specifically for Clare House. And Clare House do put a little bit of sparkle on people's lives. And if you ever get a chance to visit or go online and check out what they do, you should, because they're a brilliant charity that need the support of people, that can afford to. I mean, you can come here and to the auction and probably buy something for about £500,000. It's worth doing, or just donate to the charity because they need it. They need the money.
It's funny because charity is like a word that is a bit far from publicity, advertisement. What you do, what you've been doing.
What I do, what me personally.
I mean, as a photographer.
Oh, as a photographer, yeah.
It's really, it's like different words that don't really come across together usually. Don't know. You've been working on campaigns before.
Yeah, no, I actually do loads and loads of stuff for charity. Because I kind of feel like, my life is so blessed that when people ask me to do something, if I think it's a good charity, I pretty much 9 times out of 10 say yes. So I donate loads of time and loads of work because I really think that I'm in a very privileged situation. And when you are privileged and you do live an amazing life, you should try and give something back. And I'm not trying to be, Bob Geldof about it, although I love Bob Geldof and Bono and those guys, and I do stuff for all of the Comic Relief and Red and people like that. But I feel privileged, therefore I try and do something. Not that I'm like giving back, but because it's a bit cheesy, but I really have a privileged life, and I do feel like the balance is better served if I try and help out where I can. And most of helping out is like taking photos or donating work or curating a show, which really actually is a privilege to do. So I kind of feel very honoured to be at this museum. It's an amazing space. It's like I'm absolutely gobsmacked by the work. You should come and see the show. It's wonderfully eclectic. The space is wonderful. If you've never been to a museum like this, it's brilliant. And I couldn't be happier, really.
Just one last question. It's Glam Up North. The title, obviously, you were saying earlier that it's inspired by this art. It's grim up north of nowhere?
It's inspired. The title, it's Glam Up North, is inspired by the expression it's grim up north, because a lot of people use that as a kind of depressing, negative way of looking at the north. And if you've lived in the north, I lived in the north for 6 years, and if you've lived in the north, it's not grim up north. It's beautiful and welcoming, and the people are so warm and generous. And I think that the idea of being generous and being giving, and it's Glam Up North seemed like a really good combination. So get down here and have a look at the show and donate some money.
Clare House Children's Hospice is a place where families whose children won't reach adulthood can find support, care and rest from hospitals. The place was built in Babington in 1998 in memory of Claire Louise Kane, who was diagnosed with a malignant tumour at age 7 and passed away 3 years later. Clare House also provides accommodation for parents and activities for children in palliative care.
What do you think life would be like if you didn't come to Clare House?
Sometimes, obviously, if you with your parents all the time, there can be a little bit of friction and stress.
Sometimes you just want to get away from each other.
give each other a
Sounds
break.
like right there.
And to be fair, a lot of lads our age wouldn't be hanging around with their mum and dad all the time. They'd be going out with their mates,
Having fun.
and stuff like that, and this sort of helps us.
Clare House is a place where we come when we're a bit sad. I lost my brother to his battle of leukemia. I'm going to play and show you how good Clare House is. This is the swing of Clare House. And it's really fun to play on. You can do lots of things here in the Clare House Hospice. Although Clare House might be sad at times, it can also be a very fun place. It's really fun up here. You get lots to do, lots of things. And even better, go down slides. Woo!
Its Glam Up North will be on display at the Museum of Liverpool until December 6th. A charity auction will be held on November 21st at the museum, with all proceeds going to the charity. To get your ticket, go to the page Our Events on the website clare-house.org.uk. That's all this week on Arts Alive. See you next time.